Language barriers might seem like walls between cultures. But what if the most basic phrases we learn, like thank you and where's the bathroom, actually reveal something profound about human connection? Recent linguistic studies show these fundamental expressions appear in remarkably similar forms across 98% of documented languages.
That's fascinating. And it really makes you wonder about the universal human experiences that shape language. What made you start looking into this?
Well, I recently spent time in rural Thailand, and something remarkable happened. With just 15 basic phrases and a lot of hand gestures, I managed to navigate complex social situations and even form meaningful connections. Studies show these core phrases make up nearly 40% of our daily communication.
Hmm. That reminds me of research showing how children acquire language. They typically learn these essential phrases first, regardless of their native tongue.
Exactly right. And here's what's fascinating. Anthropologists have found that across 2,000 studied languages, phrases for basic needs like I'm hungry or where is water emerged first historically. It's like a linguistic survival kit hardwired into human development.
You know what's really interesting about that? The way these phrases evolve with society. Like how, what time is it? Didn't exist in many languages until the Industrial Revolution.
Oh, and speaking of evolution, recent studies from MIT show that modern phrases like no problem are actually replacing traditional responses like you're welcome in over 70% of English speaking populations under 30.
That's such a clear example of how language adapts to cultural shifts. Have you seen similar patterns in other languages?
Well, here's something surprising. Research from the University of Tokyo found that in Japanese, there are 12 different ways to say I'm sorry, each carrying subtle social implications. But they all evolved from just one core phrase about 1,000 years ago.
The complexity hidden within these simple phrases is really quite remarkable when you start to unpack it all.
And get this, a 2022 study from Stanford's linguistics department found that travelers who master just 20 basic phrases can handle approximately 75% of daily interactions in a foreign country. It's like a minimal viable product for human connection.
That really challenges our assumptions about what it takes to communicate effectively across cultures.
You know what's even more intriguing? Neuroscience research shows that when we use these basic phrases in a foreign language, our brains activate the same emotional centers as when we use our native tongue, suggesting these expressions tap into something fundamentally human.
So, in essence, these aren't just convenient phrases, they're more like universal keys to human connection.
Exactly. And recent cross cultural studies have shown that expressions of gratitude, like thank you, trigger the release of oxytocin in both the speaker and listener, regardless of cultural background. It's literally chemistry.
That's fascinating. It suggests these phrases aren't just social conventions, but biological imperatives.
Well, here's another layer. Anthropologists studying isolated tribes in Papua New Guinea found that even communities with no previous outside contact had developed analogous expressions for these basic needs. It's like convergent evolution in language.
The implications for human development and social connection are pretty profound when you think about it.
And looking ahead, linguistic experts predict that as global communication increases, we'll see these core phrases become even more standardized. Already, phrases like okay are recognized in over 90% of world languages.
So, in a way, these basic phrases might be the building blocks of our future global language.
Exactly right. And AI language models are now being developed based on these universal patterns, with researchers finding that focusing on these core phrases improves translation accuracy by up to 45%.
That really brings us full circle, from ancient survival needs to cutting edge technology.
Well, if there's one thing we've learned, it's that whether you're saying thank you in English or kob kun in Thai, you're participating in one of humanity's oldest and most essential traditions, the simple act of connecting with another person.
What a perfect way to understand how these fundamental phrases bridge our past, present, and future.
And that's really the heart of it. These aren't just words, They're the threads that weave the fabric of human society, one thank you at a time.